Hello, these are two of my favorite soundtrack album of Indonesian movies. The first one is the soundtrack album of Ada Apa Dengan Cinta, and the film is also a wonderful film. The second one is Heart. Both albums they were composed by the same artist, the same composer called Melly. That's her name. She's a brilliant songwriter and composer. I'm going to show you the first one that is Ada Apa Dengan Cinta, which is much more popular compared to Heart and much more well received. So Ada Apa Dengan Cinta was a romance released back in 2002 and it became Indonesia's top selling movie and it was the most successful Indonesian movie of the year 2002. It got most watched um, audience on the theaters. It was Ada Apa Dengan Cinta back in 2002. This is the VCD copy of the movie, the video CD copy. That is the design of the front cover with two main characters, Rangga and Cinta. So Cinta is the name of the character. Her name is Cinta, portrayed by Dian Sastrowardoyo, and this guy was portrayed by Nicholas Saputra. And that is the design of the back. This one holds the CD inside like that. The CD is in the standard jewel case. We got two postcards over there with the main characters, the male lead and the female lead. Over there, we can see it looks like they created this one as if the main character said that, look, you just purchased the original video CD, and that's not difficult, right? So you need to support the original video CD, the real video CDs, and never purchase the fake one. Um, Tuh kan dapat yang asli. Ngapain masih beli VCD bajakannya? Kasih tahu ke anak-anak dong. This is a shout out. Thanking you for buying the real video CD and ask you to tell your friends to purchase video CD, the real video CDs. The same thing with this one. This looks like she's very sad. Cinta sedih, kok masih banyak yang beli VCD bajakan? Kan udah ada yang asli. Bilangin ke teman-temannya ya. The translations like basically she's sad because lots of Indonesians they were still purchasing the bootleg video CD, and she wants you to tell your friends to buy the real video CD, to advocate to purchase the real video CD. So back in the late 90s and early 2000s, the piracy, um, the bootleg market, it was just so huge that the government and the distributors they were trying so hard to combat piracy. And yeah, this is one of the ways they do that. It's a standard postcard over there, kartu pos postcard. Ada apa dengan cinta? And this is the actual video CD standard jewel case, the same design of the front cover as the outer paper cover, and that is the design of the back. This one was released back in 2002, so right after the movie hit the theaters back then. Inside, you can find the first disc and the second disc underneath. Ada Apa Dengan Cinta was highly praised by critics and also by viewers, and well, it was the top selling movie of 2002 in Indonesia, so it must have done something right. This was very famous amongst teenagers and young adults and perhaps college students at that time. It's a romance, but it's not just a chick flick. It has something serious going on inside. There you go. This is the video CD version of Ada Apa Dengan Cinta. Later on, they also released the DVD version of the same movie. This is the DVD version. That is the design of the front cover. It says digitally remastered over there. The same artwork, that is the title, Ada Apa Dengan Cinta. Ada Apa means basically what's up or is something wrong. What's wrong with Cinta? What's wrong with love? Because Cinta is the main character but also means love. The title can mean two things. What's up with the character or what's up with love as a general concept. So that's part of the riddles in this movie. The title itself is something that is very intriguing. What's wrong with love? There's something wrong with love, or those kind of thing. You can see the numbers of awards that this film received. Yeah, spine, and that is the design of the back. Of course, it showcases the special features, the teaser for the second one. So this one got a sequel, video diary of the sequel, and interview with the creators of the movie. Side, you can find a single DVD disc. This particular DVD becomes important in my collection because this one is remastered. It was remastered in 4K Ultra HD back in the year 2015 or 2016. So in the mid 2010s, they remastered a lot of old and influential Indonesian films, and this is one of them. Ada Apa Dengan Cinta is considered to be a very, very influential film. It's a very, very crucial movie for Indonesian cinema, so they remastered this movie as well. So you can clearly see the difference when you watch this DVD, compare that to the video CD version. They both look so different. It's not just about the resolution. Of course, the DVD has much more resolution compared to the video CD, but it's not about the resolution. It's a true restoration, and they really, really remastered and restored this one into 4K Ultra HD. And what is more interesting is that when you play this one, when I played this one on my Blu-ray player, it shows an ad. It shows a trailer about the remastering, about the restoration process of so many Indonesian film, influential Indonesian films from, I think from this one, Flick. But they really, I mean, they only made those movies available through streaming platforms. So the mid 2015, it was the end of the biggest physical media distribution in my country, in Indonesia. So there's no more major distribution, and all of the smaller ones and also Indonesian ones, they started to fall apart in the mid 2010s. So they only offer most of the restoration or most of the restored movies on the streaming platform, and they never released those movies on any physical media format.
Untuk pertama kalinya di TV Indonesia, drama favorit Anda, komedi, romansa, dan film aksi laga telah dimastering secara digital dalam format high definition. Cerita yang Anda suka, film yang Anda rindukan, semua akan hadir di TV Anda. Flick, Rumah Sinema Indonesia.
This one got a special treatment, I think, because this is very popular and very, very marketable. And they can see that this will, make tons of profit because this is a popular movie. So they released this one on physical media as well, along with the second one, the sequel to this movie. And the trailer clearly mentioned that this one was remastered in 4K Ultra HD, but they never released Ada Apa Dengan Cinta even on Blu-ray disc. So they only released this one on DVD that's the maximum or the highest quality that you can get for this movie on any physical media format that is available in this country, in Indonesia, that I know of, is on this DVD. So I think that is a shame. They got the remastering process, they got the restoration process up and running so well, but they only release those on streaming platforms and only release the physical media on the DVD format. They never release this one on Blu-ray, so that is a shame. They remastered this one on 4K Ultra HD. This is one of the most influential Indonesian films ever, and they never released this one on Blu-ray disc, let alone on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. So that is a shame. And let's move to the music CD. So this is the music CD album. Looks like the package design for the video CD. They look very, very identical. So that is the video CD of the movie, and that is the CD album of the soundtrack. With that original motion picture soundtrack of Ada Apa Dengan Cinta, and that is the design of the back, the list of the songs. Inside, that is the CD, and that is the booklet. So that is Ada Apa Dengan Cinta, the CD, the video CD, and the the DVD. So I wanted to show you this one because it just bothers me to see the trailer for the these type of movies, Indonesian movies, remastered and restored in 4K Ultra HD, but they've never released those on any physical media. And they only released this one on streaming platform, select streaming platforms, and they never release these type of movies with tons of special features. So looking back, and if realizing the importance of this movie and how impactful, how big the impact of this movie really, really is, they should really create some sort of a lengthy documentary talking about this movie and the impacts of some kind of like special editions or platinum editions of those Disney movies, or just normal Hollywood movies that are influential. Now I'm going to move to the second one, another movie that I also love because of the soundtrack album. So this time let's start from the soundtrack album. So this is the CD, the two-disc album, original motion picture and soundtrack. And the creator of this album, the songs and the music, is the same as the creator of the ones from Ada Apa Dengan Cinta. You can probably search those songs, the soundtrack on YouTube, and try to listen to those music yourself and determine whether those are high quality or not. And you can probably search the lyrics and try to find the English translation for the songs. Yeah, I really adore nearly all of the songs. The song My Heart is a brilliant one, and then Kehilangan. It's also very, very touching. Sampai Menutup Mata is also brilliant. Nearly all of them are brilliant. And the movie is not as deep as Ada Apa Dengan Cinta, so it's not as realistic or as as deep as Ada Apa Dengan Cinta. Is basically a very, very touching romance, and not as logical compared to Ada Apa Dengan Cinta, but still a very, very touching and a beautiful love story for me personally. So this is one of my favorites. Heart. That is the design of the front cover. This one is the video CD version of the movie, and that is the design of the back. This one is quite special because this video CD actually has a third disc, so the movies are split in two discs, CD disc 1 and CD disc 2, and the third disc hosts the special features, including the music videos, and this is the most important one, the making of the movie. So there's a lengthy documentary of the making of Heart in this video CD. That is something that I think we desperately, as Indonesian and as a film lover myself, desperately need for Ada Apa Dengan Cinta and other films within that caliber. But yeah, this is all that we got hard. I remember watching the documentary during the promotion time of this movie back in 2006. So I think it was around 2005 or 2006. I was in fifth or sixth grade. And I remember listening to the song for the very first time. It was just so touching. And the movie is just also as touching. It's a sad, sad movie, but yeah, it's a very light movie, but also very sad and also very interesting. It's not as complicated as Ada Apa Dengan Cinta, so it's not as well received in terms of critical the film critics, the serious film critics, they don't really praise this film at the same level as Ada Apa Dengan Cinta, but still it's a very very popular and well received movie. This one is actually a slipcover, and you can find the video CD box inside, and that is the discs. That is the first disc, and underneath is the second disc. So this is the movie part one and part two. And over there, that is the third disc with the special features making of art and the music video, which is very, very important for the history of Indonesian cinema. And something that is very interesting about the title, Heart. Heart, of course, in English, we know that heart is part of your body that pumps the blood. But in Indonesia, when you want to say heart, when you want to express love by saying my heart, the heart in my heart is actually my liver, if you want to use that one in Indonesian. So heart, the part that pumps blood, it's not something romantic in Indonesia. The one that's romantic in Indonesia is hati, but hati is liver in English. So it's just, I think it's just part of the title, but they actually mean heart means hati. So that is one very very interesting about the title of this movie, Heart. But there you go, two of my all-time favorite romance, Indonesian romance, and I select this one because of the soundtrack album by the same artist, Melly Guslow. She's just a wonderful, wonderful composer, a wonderful songwriter. I really, really adore her works. And she is not only working on these two movies, but also tons of other movies, and nearly all of her soundtrack albums are just amazing. Yeah. And both of the movies actually have sequels. One has a direct sequel, Ada Apa Dengan Cinta Dua. So the second one is a continuation of the first one, but not as brilliant as the first one. And Heart has a some sort of like a spin-off. It's called Heart to Heart. Also not as good, but the soundtrack for Heart to Heart is by Melly. So that one is also beautiful. And something that Ada Apa Dengan Cinta Dua, the second one, cannot um it will never be as great as the first one is because the first Ada Apa Dengan Cinta, the first movie, ends with an open. It's not really concluded in that movie, so it has an open ending that allows the audience, that requires the audience to think, to imagine for themselves about what's going to happen next. So that is part of the charm of this movie. So it's not really giving you something that you really really want. It's probably giving something that you really really need. So it's open ending, and it's up to you to decide whether you want the end to be a happy ending or a sad ending. It's up to you as the audience. That is part of the charm of this movie. But when they create the second one, when they release the second one, it it demolished that charm from the first movie. And the second one is not as meaningful as the first one, and not as well received as the first one. And I don't think it's going to last longer in terms of longevity compared to the first one. People will continue to talk about the first one years and years and years to come, but perhaps not the second one. So that is all that I want to share with you at this very moment. If you're still with me, I sincerely say thank you. Take care and goodbye. P.S. I made a mistake, a very, very terrible mistake when talking about this movie and the special features. So the video CD actually has the making of the movie. And what's really, really terrible is that they do not include this making of into the DVD copy of the movie. So it's such a missed opportunity. It's going to be so much better if they include the making of the movie on this video CD to the DVD. So that again shows how much bigger video CD once was in Indonesia, even compared to DVD. So that is such a shame. And that is the correction for this video. I'm sorry I made a terrible mistake by not including these very, very crucial information because I criticized the lack of special features. And the video set actually has the making of the movie, which is quite comprehensive. And this is a very, very important one. So if you really love the movie like myself, I think you need to own both the versions, the video CD and the DVD. So it's a no-no for me to get rid of this video CD copy of the movie.